Well, so I'm affiliated with the Heartbeat Studios program, which has a 6 to 8 week course to get people to a certification. The idea was for that to be stacked modular training to get to that certification. Right now, it's almost like free form because I'm not sure that it's going to take 6 to 8 weeks to get through all the things. They've got scheduling issues and a lot of production and stuff going on. So it may change from 6 to 8 weeks to longer or shorter. So I'm going to be doing as many experiences as I can outside of the studio, like this. And I've got, one at Warner Brothers next month, and I have another one.
Not yet.
Not yet. We have one with UCLA's Anderson School of Business that's going to honor Issa Rae. Then we have one at the Solar Foundation that we're going to do in May. And then we're trying to put together the formation of a group to work on a film festival in downtown Hollywood. Well, actually, downtown Hollywood. It's going to be in Hollywood. We're taking over the Chinese Man Theater and all of the hotels and the co-working spaces to create a film festival that's really going to focus on finance.
Like film financing.
Debt
or just
financing
for project financing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the guy that is doing that is somebody I met at the Pan African Film Festival, Dave Hill. But all of that is what I'm trying to cook up, and then in between we'll do activities at Heartbeat Studios that will focus on the Heartbeat connections, the Heartbeat relationships.
Is that like the Heartbeat Studios? Is there like an actual? So that's 6 to 8 weeks. Is there an actual curriculum, or is it just touch points?
Well, I would say it's not kind of a curriculum that has been curated with a lot of things that are going to be training that people would learn inside of the studio that take to some certification. But I think it's really more of learning by doing and doing things that they can put their eyeballs on you to see. You can follow instruction and maybe be a person who can actually be trusted to be on a project. And I know some of the people that have worked in those positions of just being on a set, where they're guarding the door, going to get coffee, whatever. Those are the people who got
actually,
on.
Yeah.
And so that's that thing that's really tough, because a lot of people want to be writer, director, producers.
Right away. Yeah.
And
That's what I was. That's one thing that I raised my hand and asked a question, but it was more of a comment on. I wanted I forget the gentleman's name, but I wanted him to talk about like what he meant by it's a use case situation, because everybody wants to they get caught up in the numbers and the tech specs of it all, but it's more so your creative, your storytelling, and being able to understand a thing in every different aspect, and then be maybe you'll decide that you want to be a DP or you want to be a director only, or you can really shape your career story, but then at the same time understanding what's needed is also shaping the actual story that you're trying to produce. So it's kind of I wanted people to I wanted them to talk a little bit more about use case, because some of these cameras in here, unless you're on a major production, you're not gonna really use that. So all of that tech spec information, it's really great to have and it builds confidence, but let's talk about the practical use of that. And so understanding this is your story, this is the story you want to tell. Pick your tools wisely. And it's that's really important, I think, for people to understand. I know. But.
Well, no, so I really want to be able to pick people from organizations, from institutions, and get them to participate.
Real quick, they make me fill out the form.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Question. Yay or nay?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I also put my license address, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, LA County. You got to be LA County. Okay. Yeah. So, question: how can I best work with TechLever?
Well,
I know you're open, but I haven't had an opportunity to figure that out yet.
Well, I'm on your side. I'm advocating for that, and I actually talked to Rashidi, and I'm like, okay, let's figure this out, because we do have a real interest in 2D production, but then also the virtual production and what that looks like. And you know, me personally, just based off of my background, I've been in contact with the ASUs and all these different things, the YouTubes and da. So I'm really trying to figure it out. And I think that there's, with being a part of this in some kind of way, like either if it's a mentor or however we see that fit, it'll kind of like give me like a better idea of how to shape it up. And like, because one thing that we would want to do is we want to actually have like a curriculum training, you know,
and I don't have that,
and they can, maybe that's where the partnership can come, because I can build a curriculum on this stuff easy. I can, you know, look at the pathway or the journey like of a particular student or a cohort member and like see like, okay, this is where they need to go, and then this is where the certification comes in, or whatever the case may be. So I think it's just really just like looking at all the parts.
Tell me
and
the
seeing where they
way
fit.
ahead for you, and I can conform. I speak for a board that's really just looking for me to find some direction. I created another nonprofit organization called the Buffalo Soldiers Education Foundation.
I was going to ask you, how is that going?
Interestingly enough, we're really thinking about projects that are going to possibly start archiving a lot of the efforts of other people that have documentaries, music projects that have kind of died and not really been able to see the light of day. But daisy chaining a lot of those things together has kind of brought me to a place where I'm trying to figure out what kind of resources, funding, a SoftBank can help those people get those projects, you know, someplace other than where they are. So that's why the film festival that we're working towards is really something I'd like to introduce to you guys, because they're self-financed. They're taking over the Chinese Miami Theater, but all the co-working spaces within walking distance, all the hotels, they're going to try to make it a global event, because this guy's a broadcast engineer and he streams to all these African countries, and all of that stuff is what he wants to do to make sure this film festival reaches every single corner or circular part of the world. So I want to see if I can set up a way for Dave Hill to open his doors, because he's created a real house where there's can really be rooms for everybody in the house. I don't know that I've ever seen anything like that available. Yeah, but he's powerful. Wyken, this is Paris.
Oh, Paris, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Wyken Harris.
Like Paris McCoy.
Real quick, some of our cohort just wanted to know if they could put their laptops in the cars, so we don't have to carry them around for the rest of the tour. Is that okay?
Yeah, as long as you can get back in.
Yeah. I'm just gonna go take them out
Sure.
right now. Cool.
Okay.
It's like
I
four
think,
people all watching.
I think that there's a framework for tech to look at workforce development. So like, as long as I can frame it from the time they enter, like, what is their journey with Tech Leimert or whatever program we build out? Like, how did they start? How do they end? If I can frame that out, I think that there's a pathway to work together.
Well, I want to be able to stay.
I gotta do the work.
Yeah, I want to stay out of the way of any of that construction, because you know, for me, that's the only skill that I have is to get people
in the same room.
In the same room.
I mean, but
and
that's
then hash it out.
That's a much needed skill, because I mean, I can do the construction. I like to do the construction work. I like to do the build. When I'm not doing, that's the only thing that I love to do outside of camera work.
Wow.
So
yeah, because I need
people like you, because once I do all the build, like
and for me this is really historic for me, because there's 5 organizations here who literally compete for the same student, for the same narrative, for the same shine, for the same dollar.
And I just got off the phone. I was on a call with Brotherhood Crusade because we're working on a project. So it's kind of like, you know, like I think another college buddy of mine that is in film and production, like I had a conversation with him last week about like all the different organizations there. We know a lot. We're in one space. How do we not reinvent the wheel, but work together? Because everybody has their own unique strength. So it's like, put it together, like who's what.
I think I finally found one tool that I want to introduce to everybody, and then they can draw their own conclusions. But I'm really hoping that this film festival could be the one thing in my lifetime that everybody can look at being a founder of.
So you want to start a film festival?
Yeah, and I think this guy, is looking for founders to be part of this effort, and that way everybody gets a chance to, again, build it, and
Make it
make an
fly.
imprint. Yeah, that's one.
Let's keep talking. Let's have that lunch. I don't mind meeting. I'm here. If you want to do it within the next week or so.
I really want to do it as soon as possible. I'm thinking I'm going to send you a video, a recording of the Zoom call between that guy and one of the board members I have. Do you know Jay Tucker?
That sounds really familiar.
He is the director of the UCLA Anderson School of Business's MEMS program, Media, Entertainment, and Sports.
Jay Tucker sounds really familiar. I
Yeah.
will say, just to be safe, not 100%, but I feel like I've had a conversation with him at some point.
Yeah, he's doing an event, one of those signature events outside of the Heartbeat Studios. Is called UCLA Pulse. It's an annual conference, primarily the alumni from UCLA's sports entertainment schools. But the last 4 or 5 years, he recognizes a trailblazer. Last year was Ted Sarandos from Netflix. The year before, Jerry Bruckheimer, Deborah Lee. This year it's going to be Issa Rae.
Nice.
And I want to be able to make sure I galvanize all, at least the black folks, around supporting the event for her. So I'm going to try to figure out a way to get tickets, for everybody, or a table or something that makes that the kind of bridge between getting to the film festival in July and what he's doing April 4th.
So he's doing April 4th is the Pulse, and then July he wants to do
A film. Well, so Jay's going to be part of the film festival. The guy that's doing the film festival is David Hill. David Hill.
So David, he wants to do that in July. And so is he already the legwork is already happening?
He's already booked the Chinese Miami's film.
So the legwork is happening. He has a venue. He's just now.
And I think he's gotten some rooms at the W and the Roosevelt.
Does he have does he have films selected, or have there been submissions or anything?
I don't know anything about that part. But when I met him at the Pan African Film Festival, and the panel he was on, everybody was talking about checkers. He was talking about chess.
Interesting.
And so,
So you're saying that he's a mover.
45, I think, from Philly. And so I'm like, damn, this cat, I want to see if I can figure out how to be him when I grow up. So that was it. So I'll put a calendar of things, but it might be a cool thing. What part of town do you live in?
I'm in Crenshaw.
Okay. So am I. I'm actually off of I'm right off of Victoria and 60th.
So
About 2 blocks away from where Nipsey Hussle was.
So I'm on Slauson and Crenshaw. So I'm in Hyde Park.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm in Hyde Park too.
Yes, I'm on the
so
east. I'm on the east side.
Let's
of
just see if
Crenshaw.
we can find a coffee shop to sit down and unpack some of the things that could make sense. But it really is, for me, I need a very strong black woman to work with some of these young black women, because I'm pretty sure that I've lost a couple of them because I just can't connect with them in the way where I think they need to be connected to.
That's fair. I mean, that's the lens that I.
Yeah, I've lost 2 of them that didn't make it here today, and I don't think that they see a place for themselves.
Well, every young black.
So we're ready to get them back
We have
in?
about an hour and 15 minutes left. Wanted to see if you wanted to kind of let them know that we're finishing up lunch so we can go to Verge Production, and then after
Yeah.
the Verge Production we'll go back into
How much time do you think? 5 minutes? Less than
I
that?
would say at least 5. It's 2:15 now, so I mean it depends. I mean we could spend.
No, hey,
we could
pizza.
spend.
Some people can take some cold pizza home. Okay, so let's get this thing going.
All
Okay,
right, cool.
All right.
I just wanted to make